The world stands on the precipice of an unprecedented time, the end of 2026. As the clock ticks closer, unsettling whispers grow louder. These are prophetic predictions, echoing from the past into our present. They stir a subtle, undeniable unease within the collective human soul. Have you felt it too? This subtle tremor beneath the everyday routine. A feeling that something massive is looming just beyond the horizon. Edgar Cayce, the modern-day prophet, left behind over 14,000 psychic readings. He spoke of catastrophic shifts and monumental changes in these coming years. In the same breath, Vanga, the Nostradamus of the Balkans, warned of global upheavals. Events that suddenly seem eerily imminent in our modern news cycle. And then there's Nostradamus himself, the 16th century seer whose cryptic, terrifying verses continue to captivate and haunt the world to this day. What makes the end of 2026 so pivotal? A strange, undeniable convergence exists between the foretelling of these three remarkable, historically disconnected seers. It is as though the winds of fate have aligned, whispering a divine secret to those willing to listen across different centuries. What if these echoes of prophecy are not merely stories? What if they are a divine symphony, preparing us for the end of 2026? With each passing day, their predictions seem to gain a stronger resonance in light of current, chaotic global events unfolding right now. It feels as if a hidden hand is quietly guiding the unfolding of our destiny, moving the pieces on a grand, earthly chessboard. Could it be that the end of 2026 will bring forth the complete collapse of old structures, the death of the world as we know it, but also the rise of new powers, not just in a material sense, but in a profound, terrifying, spiritual reordering of humanity? As we unravel the top 10 prophecies for the end of 2026 made by these visionaries, we glimpse an awe-inspiring and terrifying future. Cayce's chilling predictions about wars, natural cataclysms, and the mysterious rise of Atlantis beneath the waves. Are they about to unfold before our very eyes? Are these ancient lands beckoning us to a deeper awareness? Stay with us as we explore the shadows of what is yet to come. Ask yourself, are we on the brink of destiny or disaster? A profound spiritual trial or a magnificent, violent awakening? This is not merely a glimpse into the future. It is a call to understand the echoes that may redefine our spiritual journey. The term Earth Changes, introduced by Edgar Cayce in the 1930s, referred to a series of catastrophic events that would drastically alter human life. The very ground beneath us, Cayce warned, bears witness to our human trials. The Earth absorbs our tension, our hatred, and our politics. Consider the current American political landscape. Complicated relationships with various nations have led many analysts to predict extreme tension if certain powers regain control. A deep unrest is building, a political tension woven into the very spirit of the world, vibrating with the threat of sudden escalation. This modern anxiety ties directly into one of Vanga's most chilling forecasts for the end of 2026. A shadow falling over the continent. She foresaw a massive conflict breaking out in mainland Europe, a war beginning at the end of 2026 between two distinct nations. The repercussions of this European conflict would be felt worldwide. It is an echo of past sorrows, yet pregnant with new, devastating meaning. Could these diplomatic breakdowns be the first notes of a deadly crescendo? A symphony of destruction meant specifically for the end of 2026? Vanga also referred to an economic conflict, a global trade war, perhaps tied to American isolationism or a deeper involvement in global affairs. It is a dark shadow playing out on the grand stage of human endeavor, affecting the livelihood of millions across the globe. Financial markets, already fragile, could shatter under the weight of this predicted tension, fulfilling the warnings of economic collapse. We are watching the dominoes align, just as the seers promised. But the real danger lies in what follows the economic ruin. Regarding the potential for a nuclear disaster, Vanga's warnings were stark. The consequences, she said, would be far-reaching and absolute. It would affect global politics, the environment, and humanity as a whole. A whisper of fire, not merely physical, but a test for the human soul. This single event, she predicted, could permanently destabilize international relations. It would spark wider conflicts and lead to massive shifts in global power. The gravity of this nuclear prediction has led to much speculation in the intelligence community. The doomsday clock ticks dangerously close to midnight. However, some critics argue that these oracles were merely influenced by the social and cultural context of their own troubled times. They claim interpretations of these prophecies are highly subjective, a psychological projection of our own modern fears onto ancient, vague texts. But do we perceive only the surface? Or is there a deeper, darker truth yearning to be revealed by the end of 2026? It is crucial to consider that Baba Vanga's prediction might carry symbolic or metaphorical meaning. Not a literal bomb, but a destructive revelation. Many prophecies are framed in symbolic terms. Interpreting them literally can sometimes lead to misinterpretations of the spiritual lessons they hold. A more open-minded approach is necessary. We must consider alternative interpretations to fully grasp their intended, profound message. A message perhaps intended to stir not paralyzing fear, but deep, profound reflection. What if the catastrophe is a spiritual crucible? Before her death, Vanga made further, sweeping predictions. She claimed Europe would fall under Islamic rule by the year 2043. She foresaw that communism would make a global comeback by 2076, fundamentally reshaping the political and social structures of the world. Yet, she also saw hope. The global hunger crisis, she stated, would be mysteriously alleviated between the end of 2026 and 2028. Her gaze pierced through centuries, seeing not just historical events, but the human soul's long, agonizing, and beautiful odyssey through time. Even in her most dire warnings, Vanga offered a glimmer of hope, a divine promise of collective healing for a broken planet. Could the end of 2026 be the exact time we begin to truly understand the complex spiritual tapestry she unfolded before us? Edgar Cayce's visions were equally geopolitical. One of his most alarming readings involved a major global conflict centered entirely around the Persian Gulf. He saw countries such as Libya, Egypt, Syria, and even parts of Australia drawn into brutal, sprawling hostilities. These ancient lands, so often bruised by human ambition and greed, now stir with much deeper, uncontrollable currents of fate. While this specific, massive war has yet to fully materialize, Cayce also foresaw China rising to an undeniably dominant global position. His insights suggest that regions like the Middle East and North Africa will become the focal points in future geopolitical nightmares. Not just a battle for oil or resources, but acting as crucibles for spiritual transformation, a harsh purification by fire and blood. These prophecies perfectly align with current, frantic debates about stability in the region. Nations are aggressively competing for dominance. It is a rebalancing not just of military power, but of the very spiritual heart of these ancient nations. Are these struggles mere earthly politics? Or are they the dark prelude to a profound, divine reordering destined for the end of 2026? Cayce's visions also alluded to a massive shift in the global power balance, with Russia playing an increasingly vital spiritual role. He described it as a soul awakening in the north, a nation destined to eventually reshape the fragmented spirit of the world. This mirrors historical changes where empires rise and fall, altering international alliances. The specific outcomes remain veiled in divine timing. His visions underscore an inner call for peace that reverberates across nations. What inner strength will we find to navigate these currents? Edgar Cayce's prophecies for 2026 provide intriguing insights, but they fiercely challenge our modern understanding of science, technology, and unyielding progress. While some predictions align with historical events, others remain vague. It is as if the divine prefers to hint rather than reveal completely. We look to Nostradamus, the French prophet. He predicted the onset of a devastating new world war right at the end of 2026. It is a chilling echo from centuries past. A long, dark shadow lengthening across the globe as we approach that fateful year. A potential conflict involving China is increasingly discussed in dimly lit Pentagon briefing rooms, as China's military influence rapidly expands. In recent years, China has demonstrated formidable naval power in the South China Sea, an aggressive posturing that cannot be ignored. Intelligence analysts believe this foreshadows an escalating conflict involving NATO countries, a spark that could ignite a full-scale, devastating war. Nostradamus predicted this exact scenario over 400 years ago. In one of his quatrains, he described brutal combat in naval battles. He noted that a red adversary would become pale with fear, but only after causing the great ocean itself to tremble with war. Many modern scholars interpret this red adversary as a direct reference to China's formidable naval fleet clashing with Western powers. But could this also be a reflection of a deeper spiritual struggle? A profound shift in human consciousness awaiting us at the end of 2026? Beyond the geopolitical terror, Cayce's predictions about the second coming of Christ are among his most fascinating and deeply controversial. A devout Christian, Cayce believed Christ's return would mark a monumental shift. It would signal the absolute end of the era of materialism. Beyond the deafening clamor of the world, a sacred promise awaits: the start of a new era of profound spiritual enlightenment. Although he gave no specific date, he suggested it would occur during a time of unimaginable global turmoil and widespread chaos. This period, Cayce warned, would be characterized by wars, sudden economic collapse, and relentless natural disasters. A violent, necessary purification. But Cayce envisioned this second coming as a spiritual event rather than a physical man descending from the clouds. He believed Christ would return as an overwhelming spiritual presence, a global consciousness guiding humanity toward love, unity, and deep compassion. The very Spirit of Christ beckoning us higher. This awakening would lead to a new world order based on true equality and interconnectedness. Cayce stressed the vital importance of personal, spiritual growth. Each individual has a role to play in ushering in this profound awakening. What if the terrifying chaos we perceive daily on the news is merely the agonizing birth pangs of this divine spiritual order? Cayce's teachings also highlighted 4 major sins that would cause the earth itself to tremble in anger and disgust. He explained that humanity and the land are deeply interconnected. As sin and greed entered the world, the land began to rebel. The earth, our sacred mother, groans beneath the unbearable weight of our disharmony. It reflects the internal, violent struggles of humankind. The land will reflect the sins spreading across nations. Earthquakes, erratic weather, and volcanic eruptions will make this spiritual connection undeniably clear. These events are expected to unfold incredibly quickly. The Holy Spirit urged Cayce to caution people not to give in to blind fear. A divine whisper, not of terror, but of profound readiness. He encouraged relentless prayer and deep internal preparation for what is coming. When Jesus walked the earth, he spoke of humanity's ability to interpret the signs in the sky. Red skies, low clouds, changing winds. But remember, God himself stated that no one knows the exact time. Only God knows the hour of the ultimate reckoning. Are we truly listening for the signs? Not just in the burning skies, but within the silent depths of our own hearts as 2026 nears. The spiritual trials of 2026 also extend into the sterile realm of science. Baba Vanga made a deeply unsettling prediction about human life. She foresaw that starting at the end of 2026, human babies would be born entirely in laboratories, removed from the natural womb. Everything, from the color of their skin to their specific personality traits, would be predetermined and controlled by cold, calculated science. A future whispered by Vanga, where humanity arrogantly crafts its own vessel. Creation itself becomes merely a biological, engineering craft. Technological advancements in reproductive science have already made in vitro fertilization common, but fully artificial reproduction raises terrifying ethical dilemmas. What does it truly mean to be human when the sacred act of creation is mass-produced in a sterile, corporate, laboratory environment? The long-term effects are unknown. It could severely reduce genetic diversity, making our society entirely dependent on technology just to exist. Who will own these lives? This raises profound, dark issues about the role of governments and corporations in regulating human existence. Does the human soul truly find its home in these controlled, artificial beginnings, or does something sacred die as 2026 approaches? Similarly, the creation of artificial body parts is accelerating. Brain-controlled prosthetics and artificial organs are no longer science fiction. This ties into another of Cayce's astonishing predictions, an extraordinary extension of human life expectancy. Humans living for several centuries, a life stretched across hundreds of years. Is this a medical miracle or a profound, exhausting test of the human spirit? Cayce believed future breakthroughs would greatly increase our lifespan. We might remain in perfect health while living for 300 or 400 years. What wisdom would we gather across such vast ages? And would our weary souls be able to keep pace with our immortal bodies? Perhaps the true gift of longevity lies not in mere years, but in the incredibly deepened spiritual journey it offers us. Cayce also made contentious, mysterious predictions regarding the very origins of humanity, a secret history hidden from modern science. He proposed that 5 distinct human races were created simultaneously in different parts of the world by a divine guiding power, a history etched not in stone, but in the deep consciousness of humanity. He spoke of lost continents, Atlantis and Lemuria. The Red Peoples, he claimed, were descendants of the highly advanced Atlanteans. They developed technology far beyond anything we have today. He suggested that survivors of the sinking of Atlantis fled to the Americas, their ancient bloodline continuing in the Cherokee and Incas. Lemurians supposedly fled to Greece, founding the Minoan civilization. What if our origins are far grander than textbooks claim? Do the drowned echoes of Atlantis stir within our souls, preparing us for a massive revelation of truth at the end of 2026? In his visions, Cayce proposed humanity is still evolving. A major leap began 18 million years ago when spirit first became matter. Our journey is an epic of the spirit unfolding through time. Cayce predicted a dramatic transformation expected to culminate far in the future. But the seeds of this shift, where humans transcend the limitations of their minds, are being planted in the chaos of 2026. A luminous destiny awaits. As for the present suffering, Cayce predicted that miraculous new cures for diseases like cancer would be discovered soon. Even in our suffering, a promise of light. Recently, global leaders announced that scientists are on the verge of creating a viable cancer vaccine. Next-generation immunomodulatory drugs and DNA-based vaccines are becoming reality. A divine healing finally drawing closer to a desperate humanity. What if the healing we seek is not just a scientific marvel, but a reflection of a deepened spiritual resonance within ourselves? The end of 2026 may bring forth not just medical remedies, but a profound understanding of our own divine capacity for wholeness. Yet the darkness must come before the dawn. Baba Vanga predicted that at the end of 2026, a nation would conduct horrific bioweapons tests. This unsettling prophecy is highly relevant today. A chilling whisper of unseen, microscopic warfare testing the absolute limits of humanity's moral compass. Vanga also mentioned something astronomical. Earth might experience a shift in its trajectory around the sun at the end of 2026. Every year, Earth travels an elliptical path, heavily influenced by the gravitational forces of other planets. But a sudden shift would be devastating. Even minor alterations in orbit could lead to extreme radiation levels, melting ice caps, and boiling temperatures that would scorch the planet. The Earth herself, a cosmic dancer, perhaps shifting her rhythm in response to unseen celestial forces or a potential asteroid impact. Could these terrifying celestial movements be mirrors of our own inner universe, drawing us closer to a profound, violent shift? Nostradamus foresaw the consequences, the Earth's land becoming increasingly dry, followed by massive, unstoppable floods sweeping the globe. The ancient seer spoke of the Earth's lament. He predicted severe weather, catastrophic tsunamis, and widespread famine due to dying crops. These are not just random events. It is the Earth herself speaking, screaming at us to awaken from our materialistic slumber. The French seer also foresaw a powerful, destructive earthquake occurring precisely at the end of 2026, claiming thousands of lives instantly. This closely mirrors recent devastating tremors in Morocco and the relentless volcanic awakenings in Iceland. The ground is literally shifting beneath us. What if these brutal tremors are not just physical tectonic movements, but a violent shaking of our very spiritual and societal foundations? Edgar Cayce shared his own terrifying views on Earth's changing geography. He believed continents would move in ways unimaginable today. The very bones of the Earth, reimagined and reshaped by an unseen hand. A sudden transformation triggered by global volcanic eruptions. Cayce predicted massive upheavals, Mount Etna and Mount Pelée erupting, signaling a tapestry of land and sea weaving itself anew. Have you ever felt the pulse of the living Earth, preparing for this divine, violent metamorphosis at the end of 2026? He foresaw Africa splitting into three sections, the Nile widening, the Red Sea expanding, and Cairo potentially submerging beneath the dark waves. Asia would experience similar horrors, the Pacific Ocean advancing, swallowing coastlines in China, Korea, and Japan, leaving only scattered islands. The water acting as a sacred, cleansing boundary, reclaiming the land and redefining the very contours of human existence. Antarctica, Cayce claimed, would lose its ice cover entirely. From frozen silence, a fertile promise would emerge, suitable for massive agriculture. In Europe, the ancient heart of the continent, Norway, Sweden, the UK, would be washed clean by rising waters. A brutal spiritual purification. Russia would be severed from Europe by a new sea, transforming into a fertile breadbasket to nourish the survivors of the New World. A divine paradox, where unimaginable loss gives way to new life, and sanctuary is found in the most unexpected corners of the globe. Some will view these horrific disasters as the literal end of days, the apocalyptic conclusion of human history as we know it. But what if these earthquakes, these floods, and these famines are merely the beginning? The violent contractions of a world being reborn. Just as labor pains signal a mother that birth is near, these earthly disasters remind believers that a profound new era is arriving. The signs can be unpredictable, but they alert us that the climactic day, the end of the old world, is finally drawing near. It is a grand cosmic birth, heralded by signs that speak directly to the soul, not just the fearful human eye. Have you felt the quickening? The profound sense of a terrifying yet beautiful spiritual dawn that awaits us at the end of 2026.